Multi-award winner and internationally celebrated artist Jess Moskaluke continues to break barriers in the country music world with her big voice, pop-infused hooks, and sonic versatility, as seen with her current single Heartbreaker and previous release Not What You Think. The first Canadian female country artist since Shania Twain to achieve Canadian platinum single status with the hit Cheap Wine and Cigarettes, Jess has gone on to earn Canadian gold certifications for Take Me Home, Kiss Me Quiet, and her first #1, Country Girls, and was notably the first Canadian female country artist since 2008 to have a song in the top 3 with Drive Me Away. And Jess joins me now. How are you doing, Jess?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you very much. We've had a bit of a heat wave in the UK here, so I'm a little bit shiny, and I am actually fresh out of the bath. So,
you look glowing. I just thought your highlighter was perfectly placed. Yeah.
Yes. I haven't got any makeup on yet.
You look good. Maybe there should be a heat wave more often.
Maybe, yes, we could do with that here in the northeast of England. Now, it's great to have you on the show. Firstly, I must congratulate you on your first #1, Country Girls. Where did you hear the news when you got to #1?
Thank you. It's been a long road to get to a #1, and it's so fun. Not funny, that's a terrible choice of word, but ironic because I knew that this song was doing really well. I was out on tour with another Canadian artist named Gord Bamford, and he was so excited. We were talking about it. The single's doing really well. It's like in the top 5. That could go really well. And then the world shut down. This was in 2020 in about March.
Oh, yes, of course.
And the world shut down. So I, like everybody else, found out that my song went #1 while I was at home for the year. So it was kind of, I say funny because I had dreamt of the day that I would get a #1. I've worked so hard. My whole team has, done all we can. And then finally it happens and there's no #1 party. There's no presentation of the award. It's just, hey, you did it.
And it's absolutely fantastic. And do you think, a lot of artists that I've spoke to, do you think that when we had this lockdown across the world, do you think that because people had more time, as it were, on their hands, because they were maybe not working or they were furloughed or whatever, do you find that maybe people had more time to discover new artists by going on YouTube or Vivo or whatever other platforms, in order for, and maybe that's helped you get a #1 as well?
Maybe. I've never thought about that before. That's a really interesting point. Perhaps because I feel like we are seeing now a new crop of a lot of new country artists, like, Bailey Zimmerman and a ton of like new, it feels like there's a new wave. There's a little bit of a changing of the guards. And I think that sometimes when people start discovering new artists, it takes a little while. So
it does.
I don't know whether that contributed to my #1 or not, perhaps. Mm-hmm. But I do think that people were probably listening to more music and, that's probably why we're seeing such a shift right now.
Yes, which in some way, which is a positive thing, which is something that's come out of something negative. It's turned into something positive, which is excellent because we can appreciate all these new artists coming up there and celebrating their music as well. Now, I did catch the video there for Country Girls. The video looks great. Where did you film it?
For Country Girls, that one, I believe we shot in Vancouver, BC.
Right. And what was the setup like? Was it something that was for the Country Music Association?
No, it was just a music video shoot. We were just shooting the video for Country Girls, and just usually we do a music video for almost every song. Every once in a while we don't have the time, or for whatever reason we don't do it. But yeah, that one was specifically for that song.
Because it would look like you were filming in a barn setup.
Yeah, it was in an old
with the doors open at the back, which was a beautiful view.
Yeah, it was an old sugar mill, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes the director will scout these locations, and I don't live anywhere near BC, and
Right.
so I'm not able to help with that really. And so the director will scout these locations, and they have such a different eye that you'll drive up and be like, "So we're doing what here?" And then it turns out beautiful because they know what they're doing, and I don't. So
Oh, yeah, it looks absolutely great. So, listeners, you'll have to look out for Country Girls, and you can actually catch it on Jess Moskaluke's website as well. Now, everybody wants to know, when did you get your love of country? When did your love of country begin?
well, I know that country is kind of having a moment in the UK right now. I know that it's starting to grow a little bit more, but in Canada, it's always been a thing. Country music, especially out in Saskatchewan, where I live, and in the small towns, that's just the music 90% of us listen to. So it's always been there. It's never been oh, I discovered it one day. It's just music. So it's always been around. And yeah, so I can't even properly answer that question because it's just always been there.
So, does writing songs come easy to you being from Saskatchewan?
So that's different, because just because I'm from here doesn't mean that it's a natural talent to
Right.
create that. For some people, it certainly is, but for me, I've always said it's a skill, not a talent. It's something that comes a lot easier to me now.
Right.
But what did come natural to me was singing and performing, and the songwriting came later, knowing that I could connect with those songs even stronger when I know where they come from, and I can have them sound better on my voice when I've crafted them to sit exactly where they need to. So I've worked really hard. It didn't come easy. It still doesn't always come easy, but yeah, it's a labor of love.
So, is it something that you always wanted to do when you were growing up, or did you have other sights on other things before this career?
Yeah, I didn't know that this was going to be a career. I didn't set out as a little girl saying I'm going to be a country artist and that's going to be my job. I didn't really. I always knew that I wanted to sing.
Yeah.
But I never realized that that was a viable career option. So it kind of just happened to me. I was in university, just taking my Bachelor of Arts and Science at the moment, and it just, like I said, it just started happening. It was just a hobby, and it just became all I had time for. And so I took a break from university, and I'm still on that break today.
Excellent, and you're doing very well as well. Have you always been a performer?
I started when I was about 14 or 15 years old. And, I'm sure as happens with anything, you get better at that, especially the performance aspect, I think, because the only way to fully get comfortable with it is by doing it. And you can practice singing in your bedroom all you want, but the performance aspect of it, you need an audience to properly do that. And that's hard to simulate.
Of course. Yeah, so, and you need to, it's good to get that feedback as well, isn't it? From the audience.
Oh, yeah, you need it. We used to record my performances too, because as much as you need the feedback from the audience to know how to react, even things like timing, to know when to, if they're clapping, you're not going to just start talking in the middle of it. Just finding that space and that time is really important. But we used to record a lot of we still do sometimes, but we used to record a lot of my performances so that I could see, because I'm such a visual learner.
Yes.
So then see, because what it feels like when you're doing something and what it looks like can sometimes be two entirely different things. So that was really helpful to actually see the performance and then be able to make adjustments from that.
And you've also got things to look back to as well. You can look back in time and you can go, hey, remember that? And you can maybe, relive those memories again and maybe release some of them songs again.
I don't know if I want to release any of what happened there, but we'll see.
Was it a lot of covers?
Sorry?
Was it a lot of covers that you did?
Oh, yeah, there were a lot of covers. Yeah, well, you can find those ones are released. There are more covers than anything on YouTube, because I kind of while I was learning how to write, I was going to LA and to Denver and to collaborate with these other YouTube artists, and we would do a lot of covers to kind of build up that fan base. Yes. While I was working on my own music. So those ones are out there. Those ones are out there. Yeah.
Fabulous. We'll have to hunt them out. Now, what do you do in your spare time to relax when you're not in the studio or on the road touring?
Spare time. I haven't had any of that recently, so it's a great question. I'll have to pass.
I have had a look at your diary there, and it looks like you're fully booked. So it mightn't be until Christmas until you get a bit of time off.
Yeah, hopefully just after Christmas. Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah.
Now back to the music, and to date you are the first Canadian female country artist since Shania Twain to achieve Canadian platinum single status with the hit Cheap Wine and Cigarettes. What was it like hearing the news?
It was crazy. I thought it was a mistake, actually. That song had gone gold, and that was my first gold record, which was crazy. I never thought I would achieve that. And I didn't even know much about it. And I remember I don't remember where we were coming back from, but I was on a flight with my manager somewhere, and we had just landed. And, you know, when you land, you check your phone, see who's, you know, you just...
Any messages?
Yeah. And and my phone was just blowing up. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is strange. And I had seen that I had gotten a tweet from, I believe it's CRIAA, and they're the people in Canada that certify these things, gold, platinum, diamond. And they had tweeted a congratulatory tweet to me for Cheap Wine and Cigarettes going platinum. Wow. And I said to my manager, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. Like, this is a mistake. Like, I genuinely thought it was no one had told me, said we were getting close to platinum, nothing. But my team was trying to surprise me. And I've had 6 gold records since that, and I don't think they've been able to surprise me once. Something has just happened, and I've ruined the surprise unintentionally. And so it was telling for my future, and I didn't know it. But
excellent surprise. And did they eventually surprise you with the disc and give it in a nice frame to put on the wall?
Yeah, I don't think that it was a surprise, but they eventually did present me with the platinum record and everything. I keep them at my mum's.
Oh, well, that's the first of many. I know that for sure. Now, other achievements so far, Jess, include taking home multiple CCMA awards over recent years, including Album of the Year and Female Artist of the Year, 3 years in a row. What was it like receiving the awards, and did you meet any of your idols there?
Yeah, I did actually meet Shania Twain one year. I think it was the year I won Album of the Year, I believe. She was hosting, and we had done a sort of tribute to her, and they had asked if I would be a part of it. And she was so kind and so encouraging. She really wanted everyone's individual uniqueness and abilities and strengths shine through, and she was super encouraging of that. So that was really cool. And yeah, getting the award every single time is a surprise, especially the very first time I ever won. It was the first time I was ever nominated. And so I definitely didn't expect to win, let alone 3 years in a row. And it was very, very cool.
Now, I hear that you're coming to the UK on tour soon. Have you been here before, or is it your first time in the UK?
It'll be my 3rd time performing in the UK.
Wow.
Yeah. We did C2C a year or 2 ago, and then last year we came back to do the Long Road Festival and a few. We did the the British Country Music Festival, I believe it's called.
Right.
And yeah, so we've done a few shows over there, and we're coming back to do a few shows of our own now. These ones will be more singer-songwriter in the round style. So they'll be, the other shows that we had done were more like full band, just hit them with the music, nothing but hit, just put on the best, loudest show you can. And these will be, you'll learn a lot about each of the artists playing, because we'll have a chance to explain the stories behind the songs, or maybe what we did that day. Maybe we'll share each other's secrets. So you'll learn a lot about us. It'll be a very different show, but I'm excited to come back.
Fabulous. And how many of you are coming over? Could you mention who's coming over with you?
Of course, yeah. I'm coming with Tyler Joe Miller, Dawn Amaro, and Five Roses, who are all signed to the record label that I'm signed to.
And they are absolutely fantastic. Everybody, you've got to check out their music as well as Jess's music as well. Now, where can listeners find dates and venues where you will be visiting when you come over to the UK?
Yeah, well, I'll just mention briefly, we're coming to London on the 20th. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar, so I make sure I get it right. We're coming to London on the 20th, Edinburgh on the 21st, Dublin the 22nd, Manchester the 24th, and Liverpool on the 26th. But you can find all those dates as well as ticket links on my website, which is just www.jessmoskaluke.com.
Excellent, thank you. Your current single, Heartbreaker, is fabulous, and the video to go with it is great. Where did you film it, and did you have fun making it? Because it looked like you did.
Yeah, it was very fun. We filmed that one in Kelowna in BC, and we just really wanted it to be just so visually different and beautiful, and kind of just reflect a little bit on those different stages of love. So that first like flirty, cloudy look is, kind of just the very beginning. And then there's the more dramatic love that's, about passion. And of course, the third look is just this floral dreamscape. And it was such a cool video to shoot, because each look was so different from the last. So yeah, it's a really cool video.
And it seems to have a very good continuity as well. I love the part in the video where you sing, ain't just the flavour of the week. I ain't just the flavour of the week, and then I see you later. With all the cakes around you with the cherries on the top. Did you get to eat the cake later?
I didn't, but apparently it was supposed to be delicious. It was like a gelatin, I think they'd flavored it with lemon or something, but it was a clear gelatin cake, and I didn't want to touch it because it was so fragile, and I was like, we only have this one cake and I don't want to ruin it for the shot.
Because there was one in the background, but I don't know if that was a fake cake.
No, they were all real. They were all real. And I think some of them were like mini ones maybe, and then we had whipped cream and cherries on it, and the whipped cream was like, the lights were hot, and so the whipped cream was kind of melting.
It'll be all like blancmange.
Yeah, exactly.
I like Jello.
That's basically what the cake was made of. Yeah.
Yes, I could imagine that being a mess if it melted underneath the lights there. But the video is absolutely fantastic, and that bit in the video, it just fits right with the lyrics. It was like, was that intentional?
I think so. We'd worked with our set designer on a few things that we wanted, and we talked a lot about the different elements that we wanted. We didn't necessarily directly talk about that lyric, but I think we all kind of knew, yeah, this fits so well.
Because it really fits. So you're getting the message across there, but at the same time, it's got that little bit of, like, I thought it was like, I like that. It's like quirky.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah.
So I think people will be looking at that and they'll be going, I want that cake.
I hope so.
Now, you are going on a Winter Wonderland tour across Canada beginning at the end of November 2023. Are you releasing a Christmas album?
Yeah, so I do have a Christmas album out already. It's called A Small Town Christmas. Right. And that was released 5 years ago. And so we decided to kind of revamp it a little bit. So we've added a couple of new songs to the record, and we're re-releasing it as a deluxe edition, just to celebrate the 5-year anniversary of it, the Winter Wonderland tour coming up this fall and winter. And yeah, I'm excited for everyone to hear the new songs.
I look forward to that. And would you be releasing that on vinyl, do you think?
I don't believe so.
Right.
It'll probably just be on CD. Vinyl is such a long process. We will
It
have
is.
totally. It takes months to. You have to not re-record everything, but remix and master everything.
That's right.
For vinyl, before you can even start to press it. And then you need different album designs and all that, and it just takes months. So we did not have the time in our schedules to go ahead and release. It's also expensive.
So maybe in 2024.
Perhaps.
Now, talking about vinyl, what is your favorite vinyl record of all time if you've bought one?
I recently just got into vinyl just a little tiny bit, like within the last year or so. So I'm definitely still working on my collection, but I have the Rumors album from Fleetwood Mac, and that's just one of my favorite albums.
Wow.
Period.
And what's on the turntable behind you there, Jess?
I was just going to say that.
That's a white label there. Looks very posh.
Yeah, so actually, funny story. This is my guitar player's record. Right. He recently left our band to pursue his own artist career. His name's Chris, right. And this is what's on my turntable right now. This is called Big in the USA. It's a great record, and this is Chris.
And that's Chris Ulrich, did you say?
Yeah, you bet.
Chris Ulrich. So watch out for that album there. You've just seen an exclusive there here on the show. Now, where can listeners get a copy of your latest single and album?
Everywhere. Well, the latest album comes out on September 29th. It is called Heartbreaker, so they can't get that yet. But you can listen to my music wherever you choose to listen to music. It's on all the DSPs and YouTube and everywhere.
Excellent. And on the album, is it going to be a mixture of tempos and things? Is there any special tracks that you could tell us about that we can listen out for?
They're all special tracks to me. That's why they're on the album. It's I don't put anything out that's not one of my favorite songs. So there will be Heartbreaker will obviously be on the album, as well as my current single, Not What You Think, and the previous one to that, which was Knock Off. So there will be those 3 songs that may already be familiar, and then we've got another handful of new songs on there that I'm really excited for everyone to hear.
Excellent. And it's a deluxe edition, you said, as well.
No, that's the other album.
That's the other album.
I know. That's why I don't have time to put things on vinyl. I'm working on 2 albums at a time. The deluxe edition of A Small Town Christmas comes out in November, and at the end of this month, the Heartbreaker album comes out.
Excellent. We'll have to get across to your website there, jessmoskaluke.com. And finally, Jess, would it be possible for you to introduce your latest single, Heartbreaker?
Absolutely. My name is Jess Moskaluke, and this is my current single, Heartbreaker.
Jess, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Good luck with the tour, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. And hopefully, I'll see you at one of your concerts. Hopefully, you come to Newcastle upon Tyne at some point.
That would be great. We would love to.
Okay, that would be great. Well, thanks very much, Jess, and look after yourself, and all the best with your tour. And I hope you enjoy your time in the UK.
Thanks, Phil. I appreciate it.